All right, so it is a very, very cold and rainy December morning, and I want to make something that's gonna just like feed my soul and my body because it's cold and I need something to warm me up. My fingers are ice pots right now, and I figured what better meal to make than a beautiful, beautiful butter chicken. So that's what we're doing today. If you don't know how to do it, you might already have a lot of the ingredients you need in the house, but I'm gonna show you how I make mine. Very, very simple. Also, a simple naan recipe as well, so we can scoop up that delicious butter chicken with. Welcome to Teo's Culinary Universe, and let's get started. All right, so as far as ingredients go, you're gonna need, of course, chicken. This is chicken thigh. You can use breast. I happen to prefer how thighs taste. I think it just makes the meal taste better, but use whatever you got. We're also gonna need some sea salt. Got some heavy whipping cream, some cilantro, of course, got some butter, roasted garlic paste and ginger paste, smoked paprika, chili powder, and garam masala. And I believe I have some turmeric somewhere. Ground turmeric. Now, if you're trying to make this and you don't have any of these spices at all, I would just try to find a garam masala. If you don't have garam masala, I'd say to use all three of these and you'll get a decent to close version. I would also add a little cumin if you're not using garam masala. A little cumin with these three spices here and you're good to go. Now for the naan bread, I'm gonna show you guys a 2 ingredient way to make naan bread. I'm gonna add a couple more things just because it's what I prefer, but if you are in dire straits, all you need is self-rising flour and Greek plain yogurt. It's all you need. It makes a great, easy naan bread. All right, so right now I'm just gonna take our chicken thighs and I'm gonna cut them into decent sized cubes. All right, so now we're gonna make our marinade for this chicken. So I'm gonna come in with a little bit of ginger paste, and honestly, this is all about preference. There's not any right answer. If you love ginger, go for it. If you don't love ginger, so in fact, you don't even need these if you don't want them. This is an easy butter chicken recipe. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I like a lot of roasted garlic, so I'm adding a lot of it. This is not a strict recipe at all, how I'm doing it. You're going to want to add a couple cranks of sea salt. Now we're going to come in with a little bit of chili powder, smoked paprika, some ground turmeric, some garam masala. You're just going to want to grab some Greek yogurt, just enough to cover all the chicken. I'm just going to dump this entire thing. Now, the Greek yogurt actually serves a purpose. So it actually helps to break down the chicken. So the longer you leave this to marinate, the more tender your chicken's going to be. So I'd recommend leaving it for at minimum an hour. But if you got the time and you're not starving, I would do 4 hours to overnight for the best results. So for the sake of the video, I'm not going to let this marinate for 4 hours to overnight, obviously. And that's the only reason why. It's just for the video. It's not because I'm very, very hungry. But I'm going to pop this in the fridge for about an hour. And in the meantime, we can get started on some naan bread. All right, so the naan bread is dang near foolproof. It is such an easy recipe. Like I said, it's 2 ingredients. You can add more, but as long as you got those two, you're making some good naan bread. So all you need is self-rising flour and yogurt. Greek yogurt, plain, of course, unless you want some strawberry banana naan bread, which honestly, if you're doing a dessert, that doesn't sound awful. I digress. Let's get started. So by foolproof, I literally mean foolproof. This is a recipe you cannot mess up because you're doing it completely 1-to-1. So I'm going to be using, I'm not sure if I'm using both of these quite yet, but let's start with one. You're just going to dump the entire thing into a bowl. Got to grab my Spam spoon because the other spoon is being cleaned. Also, Spam, if you're watching, sponsor me. You know what? I am going to share this with my family, so I think I'm going to go ahead and use both. Both of them. Both of them. Just give that a quick little mix. All we're going to do, now you can wash this out if you want to, but I don't have the time or the patience. So what I'm going to do, get the self-rising flour. Boom. Dump it in. Let's do another one. Boom. Dump it in. All right, now I'm just going to start to mix this in a little bit. Once it comes together a bit more, we'll drop it onto our work surface. But right now, we're just going to kind of get this all integrated. I am going to come in with a quick crank of some sea salt. I think it's time to drop this onto the work surface and get our hands a little dirty. And start folding. And just remember being a kid playing with Play-Doh or sand at the beach. That's what you're doing right now. If the flour flies a little bit off, that's fine. Eventually, it's going to turn from this outrageous mess to a nice, pliable dough ball. By the way, if you find that you need more flour, like I do right now, just add some more. Just add a couple pinches at a time. All right. It's finally starting to come together. It's such a crazy time when you are mixing together a ball of dough that seems like it will never come together, and you're kind of starting to panic. You're like, did I do it right? And then eventually it does, and then you go, yes, of course I did it right because I know what I'm doing, even though every time I do this I go through the same exact mental gymnastics. All right. That's just fun to do. But yeah, we got our pliable dough ball. Beautiful. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and turn on our stovetop. It is very cold, so it takes a little bit. Now I'm just gonna do a little bit of avocado oil, and then we're actually gonna wipe most of that away with a paper towel. Just wipe it around, make sure it's on the entire bottom of the pan, and yeah, that's what you're looking for. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut our dough ball. I'm gonna try to get 8. Just a little bit of flour right there. We're gonna grab one, start this. All right, let's pop this on the stove. All right, so you're gonna want to just check occasionally. You can see it's already cooking on the other side. It's looking good. It might be ready for a flip. Yes, look at that beautiful color on that naan bread. 2 ingredients, gorgeous. Now, if you're sitting there and you're thinking that this naan bread looks a little basic, looks a little, you know, maybe it's not cool enough for your standards, and you're thinking if I'm gonna enhance it, well, you'd be correct. I'm gonna do a little bit of garlic butter. And of course, with that, you'll need 2 more ingredients, garlic and butter. But I'm gonna heat this up on the pan and then just lather it over all my naan bread pieces when they're done. Again, you don't have to do it, but if you want to like take this to the next level, I definitely recommend it. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. I mean, it is basic, yes, but if you're in a pinch and you really just need some flatbread, I mean, if you're even trying to make a flatbread pizza, 2 ingredients, that's all it takes. It's that simple. I kind of want to bite into one. In fact, that's what we're going to do right now, just to try it out. They're very hot, but it's got that glutinous kind of feel to it. Wow. Make one of these, I'm gonna start giving you guys homework assignments. If you think I'm exaggerating, this is a quality piece of bread. That's so good. New method. I'm just quite literally doing the Hong Kong Fooey on these naan rolls. It's helping them spread out evenly without like me breaking them. It's literally. Do y'all remember Hong Kong Fooey, by the way? Hong Kong Fooey, #1 super dog. Beautiful. Check on this one. Ready for a flip. Got a little color on that one. All right, we are done with our naan bread. Now, I didn't add any flavors to this because I wanted to show you guys exactly how it would turn out with just the ingredients that I said, the flour and the yogurt. But I am gonna make this a little better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some butter, plain unsalted butter, and pop that on the pan that we just cooked the naan bread on. And all I'm gonna do is add a little bit of this roasted garlic paste to it. Let those come together, and then I'm just going to lather our naan bread in that. And right now, the heat's not even on. This is just the residual heat from cooking the naan bread. Then we're just gonna get some of the naan, and just roll it around in there. Easy peasy. Turn the heat back on. This next part's very, very simple. So we're just gonna get this butter chicken that's been marinating. It's honestly, I took a little break to go hang out with my family. It's been a couple hours. So not as long as I would love to have it marinating for, but it has been longer than I thought I'd have it marinating for. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the pan ripping hot, and then we're just gonna pour our mix, our chicken mix, onto the skillet, spread it out, and leave it. I want to get some good caramelization. When I start stirring it around, I want to see some black bits, I want that flavor to really develop. So when I put it down, I'm not just going to start stirring it and try to cook the chicken that way. But instead, we're going to leave it for kind of that Maillard effect of like caramelization. Keep in mind, the point right now is not to cook this chicken fully through. So if you're doing this and you think the chicken looks a little raw, that's on purpose. You're not cooking all the chicken right now. You're just getting some caramelization on it. Now we're gonna take this chicken out, move it to our pot. All right, we're gonna kill the heat for right now and keep all this extra stuff in here. All this extra fond and flavor. Keep that in there. All right, if you hear that noise, it's the fan on because it's getting kind of smoky in here. But you're gonna want to grab an onion. I've got a red onion, it's kind of all I had. A few tomatoes, as well as a little bit of tomato paste. And all the same seasonings that you use for the chicken marinade. Just hit the tomatoes with a little bit of salt. Now we're gonna bring all this back over to the pan. We're also going to go back in here with all of the seasonings that we used for the chicken marinade. So we're going to add some more ginger, some roasted garlic, some turmeric, some paprika. I'm going to add a lot of paprika just to make sure I get that color right. Some chili powder, and some garam masala. All right, now we're going to come in with some tomato paste. Add some more salt. All right, guys, we are at the final stretch for this delicious meal. Next thing we're going to do is grab the immersion blender. I love this thing so much. If you don't have an immersion blender, it's fine. If you have a normal blender, just dump everything in there, blend it up. It works the exact same. If you don't have an immersion blender or a normal blender, I would just say to dice everything up a lot more fine than I did and just proceed. It won't be as velvety smooth as it's going to be when you blend it, but it'll still taste more or less the same. All right, so before we blend this, we're going to add a little bit of heavy cream, about 3 tablespoons. Just mix that together a little bit, just so it doesn't squirt everywhere when we start blending it. All right, so we're switching to the blender because the immersion is just not really working right. I think I need to be using a deeper pan or pot for it to fully blend. So we're switching to the actual blender. This is my Ninja blender. Oh, please tell me the battery's dead. Okay, give me a second. Okay, it's working when I keep it moving. It wasn't dead, it was just getting clogged up. All right, so we got it mixed all up. Now we're just gonna pour it back into the pan and then add our chicken back in as well. Be careful, of course, it's hot. And just dump that velvety sauce back in there. That's so beautiful and it smells incredible. And then we're gonna get this chicken that we cooked off and didn't completely finish cooking and just pour that in there. Now you're just gonna mix this all together and let that chicken cook until it's completely done. All right, I believe we are done. I'm gonna go ahead and kill the heat. Now, to make this just look a little prettier, we're gonna do 2 last things. We're gonna add a little bit of garnish with some cilantro, and we're also gonna do a little bit of cream on top as well. You don't have to do these at all, but they just make it look good. A little bit of cream, then a little bit of cilantro just to add some nice greenery to it. Oh, man. All right. So this is what we ended up with. Don't forget to add a little pat of butter right there. Just let that melt on in. If anyone in the comments knows the history of butter chicken, because you can make it without having to use much butter at all. So why is it called that? Let me know. But butter chicken is done. Oh, I got the naan bread in the oven, heating back up. Man, let's try this out. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is one of those meals that I feel like you got to eat straight out of the pan. And that's just how I genuinely feel. That I'm not saying that because I've made such a huge mess in my kitchen, it's going to take me a while to clean it up, and I don't want to get anything else dirty. That's just how I genuinely feel. All right, so this is our butter chicken. I mean, come on. I mean, the smell is just like straight up attacking the air. It's amazing. Got some of our garlic butter naan, and honestly, there's not anything else to do besides just go in. This is taking me a couple hours to make, so I'm gonna enjoy this. Let's go in. That is so good. I almost hate that I said I would share this with my family. But also, I'm very excited to share it because I love introducing new things. Like, my family, we all love to cook. And this year, for instance, we decided to go ahead and do a different Christmas meal. We usually do the same Christmas meal every year, ham, whatever, all the other stuff that Christmas comes with. This year, we're switching it up. Each person in the family is going to choose a country in Asia, and then we're going to make a meal inspired by that. So I got Japan, so we'll see what I end up coming up with. But back to this, another bite, and I'll give you my thoughts. I mean, there are just some meals that are worth every last minute that you take for it. This is incredible. I can only imagine how good it'd be if I would have waited overnight to let this really marinate. It would have been so much more tender. That being said, it's still incredible. This is one of my favorite comfort meals. It's fun to make. It's delicious. This is an easy meal. Um, you can definitely streamline it to make it a lot easier, or you can really go for it to make it a lot more complex and true to the traditional meal. But man, this is gonna have to get. This is a 7.89. 7.89 for me. The flavors are working together so well. You get that warmth from that garam masala. Honestly, the cilantro it brightens everything up. I forgot to add lime juice to this. I'm just now realizing. Usually I add lemon or lime juice. I have neither right now. I had limes and I used them yesterday. Dang, this could definitely use some improving. But if you're just doing a lazy day, it's a rainy day, cold day, you just want to make something new or just make something that you already love, make it yourself. This, I think, is a great recipe for it. It's really kind of plug and play. You don't have to follow any strict rules. Like, I've seen people use way more tomatoes than I used. I've seen people just use tomato paste and still get away with the same. It still turns out looking the same. As long as you've got the basic spices to create that like Indian flavor, like the garam masala, but as long as you got that base flavor, I mean, it's really hard to fail. Um, it's got a nice creaminess to it from that whipping cream. The ginger in there is popping through. The garlic, the cilantro is really helping it like brighten out because it's really round. It has a really round taste to it. Because I forgot to add lemon or lime, but the cilantro actually helps there. Yeah, I'm talking too much. I'm talking way too much. Yeah, I'm gonna go share this with my family, and that's gonna do it for me, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, tell me how you're feeling. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Most of the people who are watching right now are not subscribed. Fun fact. I know you're not doing it on purpose. You probably think you are subscribed and maybe just didn't realize that you're not. So right now, take a moment to hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, leave a like, tell me how you're feeling downstairs, and let me know what you guys want to see me try next. Um, it's December. It's the time for hearty comfort meals and desserts. I'm not a baker. I will say that. I'm not a great baker, but I will get better. And I think December is the month to start. So let me know what you guys want to see from me next. Hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, peace.